Our fourth presenter this evening is Nancy Dorrans. A friend writes, I met Nancy over 20 years ago at Youth Enrichment Services, YES, where she was a volunteer ski instructor. YES is an organization that works with teenagers from the Boston area and provides an opportunity for them to explore summer and winter sports throughout New England. As a travel agent, Nancy's care for people is also part of her efficient expertise. She has an outstanding knack of being able to flow through life, meeting people and becoming friends with them as she turns every corner. At home, she's always organizing and encouraging others to step a little bit further out of their comfort zone at whatever speed their life takes them. Nancy is a true friend. She's also an innovative, energetic entrepreneur and a master at promoting fun and appreciation for human culture around the world. The title of her presentation is A Broader Sense of Place Through Travel. Her story of lifelong adventure with a vast comfort zone that is her sense of place. Let's welcome Nancy Dorrans.
My name is Nancy Dorrans. My grandma Dorrans was born Bessie MacLeod on the Isle of Lewis in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland and came to live in Michigan and was married to my grandfather, John Dorrans, also from Scotland for over 30 years. After my grandfather died, when I was 4 years old, my grandmother came to live with our family. We adored our grandmother, her sweet ways, charming accent, delicious shortbread, and Gaelic sayings. At times, I was the cheeky wee bism. Or as an exclamation, she would often say, "Ho to diva," which we thought was Gaelic, but actually it was English for, "Oh, did ever you hear? Did ever you see the likes of that?" My sister and I were sent kilts from our relatives in Scotland in the MacLeod family tartans. Hers was the hunter tartan, mine the dress or the bumblebee. Occasionally, when we got mail, I had visions. Let me go by this. Occasionally, we got mail, light blue airmail letter from Scotland, and once in a while, they were from my Aunt Nancy, my grandfather's sister. And to me, Aunt Nancy looked like Marlo Thomas. I had visions of her, and my imagination ran wild. But fast forward to high school graduation and what was expected. 4 years in college, a major course of study, and a big state college experience that was not for me. I withdrew passing and came home before Thanksgiving the first year. I ended up in a small business college that offered a 9-month program in either accounting or secretarial skills, but they had just added a 3-month travel and tourism course. And this turned my head and appealed to my own dreams of travel, and so I signed up. The following year, I began working as a travel agent, which gave me the many, many opportunities to travel. Over the last 30 years, these opportunities have enriched my life, introduced me to new cultures, people, food, music, traditions, languages, and religions. During a travel agent tour of China, our visit to the Great Wall led to an encounter with this group of boys that brought laughter, peace signs, and poses on the historic landmark. Now, my comfort zone is vast. I have a strong sense of adventure that is accompanied by fearlessness. This fearlessness often scared my mother, and it often scares my friends and family. But for me, though, intrigue trumps fear. I'm driven to meet and immerse myself in different cultures over and over again. The more intrigue and authentic the experience, the more comfortable and engaged and at home I become. It is the intrigue that compels me and my work as a travel counselor. So my question is, where does our comfort zone come from, and how and why does it change? Are we born this way with a narrow or broad comfort zone? Does it develop over time, with experiences, I say that. And your travels will take you away from your home and outside of your comfort zone. As a travel counselor, I strive to send or lead my clients to an authentic experience, safely out of their comfort zone and into an appreciation of another culture, the landscape, traditions, food, music, and people. This spring, I had organized and traveled to southern Africa with a small group of adventurous friends. We journeyed from Cape Town to the game parks of Kruger and on to Zimbabwe to the mighty Victoria Falls, and back to Johannesburg and the township of Soweto. Southwestern Township is what it stands for. While tracking and seeing and being near the animals in the wild was breathtaking, it was the people we met, the schools we visited, the history, and the personal stories we listened to and friendships we made that made this trip one of my all-time favorite adventures. Here I am with a small group of boys after a hike up the top of Table Mountain in Cape Town. So I believe travel can transform lives. It allows us the opportunity to learn and change our opinions, thus becoming more welcoming and accepting of people that are different. It broadens our sense of place. On the visit to a preschool outside of Kruger, we met the teachers, toured the school, and then went outside to play and taught the children to ring around the rosy over and over again while the children and the circle grew and grew. What if I had the opportunity to be the travel agent for our presidential candidates? Where would I send him that might help him change his mind, replace his ego, fear, and hate with compassion? Mark Twain wrote, "Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness." What would he say if he were alive today? In 1985, when she was 92 years old, I asked my grandmother if she would like to go to Scotland with me. The airfare was reasonable, and it was the time. She thought about it for a moment, and then she said to me, "Oh, I don't know." Then with a slight pause, "When would we go?" Another pause, "Oh, my passport's expired." But we made it. The relatives welcomed us with open arms, warm hearts, and hugs. My grandmother had the best time. Here she is on the right with my grandfather's sister, my Aunt Nancy. On that trip, my grandmother went back to her first home, and I fulfilled a childhood dream and met my Aunt Nancy. She didn't look anything like Marlo Thomas. But it didn't matter. She was more than that. And she asked me if I was named for her, and I said I most certainly was.